Hello, this is Teresa, and this is the monthly Soulfully Aligned Business Expansion Experience call. My super long title, but that really embodies what I want. My goal here is to help you expand. I love the expansion, and it's got to be done in a way that is connected with your soul. There's not formulas here. There's just conversation. There will be clearing. So today we're talking about receiving. This is a big one. This is a big one. Ask me how I know, right? Like I always say, raise your hand. Are you a woman? Okay, then you got a problem with receiving, right? And so I'll just tell a little story here. I have a community. I have this community of women that I work with. And one of the benefits to being in the community is they get monthly hot seats. And it's like, okay, I sign up for the hot seats, sign up for the hot seats. And nobody was signing up for the hot seats. And I was like, what the heck? What is going on? This is your benefit. You're paying this benefit. And it was so fascinating because the women got real. And some of them would say, well, I don't want to take somebody else's time. Or, well, what if somebody needs it more than I do? Or, but I already had one like 2 months ago. And so, probably shouldn't have another one. And on one hand, hello, as women, we've been trained that way. We've been trained to just to be deferential and or be accommodating or, oh, no. She did it. It wasn't me, right? And I like my jaw was dropping. And I was like, holy shit, we got to talk about receiving because these are all receiving words. And so what I say oftentimes, and I'm going to use a word that's a little punchy. What I say is, I want you to be greedy for your good. And when I say greedy for your good, I like the alliteration. But most people think greedy would be, oh my God, can be greedy. And now I don't mean we're going to turn into jerks or we're going to turn into, just bitches. But I want you to go, like, if your car runs out of gas or is on low on the fuel, you're not going, really? I just filled you 2 weeks ago. Really? I can't, like, who do you think you are? Why should you have more? See what I mean? Like when we understand the car, if we don't have fuel, it doesn't go. And yet receiving to me is the same. It's the fuel of our lives, right? Welcome, Janice. I'm glad you're here, darling. So we're going to have just conversations about receiving. Okay. Because there's so much focus on the law of attraction, attracting. Here's get in vibrational frequency to that what you want to attract. Okay, you can be there, but if you're like, oh yeah, but I can't take too much. I already had some last week. I already got a client 3 months ago. No, right? Like I'm like, holy crap, this is only half of the equation. Everybody talks about the receiving, but they don't talk about what has to be in place for you to go, yeah, I'm sorry. We talked about the attracting and the desire and the manifesting, but where's I'll be a yes to that. Oh, heck yeah. And more, please. And more, please. And more, please. Can I get an amen? Anybody like, preach it, sister? Okay. All right. So some of you know me, many of you know me, have worked with me for years. Some of you don't. So let me just give you a really quick little bio about me. My name is Therese. If you put an A on it, I will correct you. I correct the telemarketers. It's not Teresa. If you call me Terry, I will. So it's Therese with an A. I started out as a psychotherapist, and that informs everything I did. I have a master's degree. I practiced for 20 years. Can you take the therapist out of the girl, right? And yet I've been in this coaching space for about 20 years. And when I started 20 years ago, I literally had a chip on my shoulder. I couldn't receive clients or money because my story was, well, I was only a therapist. I never worked in corporate. I didn't know business. I was only, so therefore I didn't deserve. And I didn't know that until I was trying to sell and market, right? And so in those days, it was not safe. We didn't talk about feminine energy, goddess, the divine source. It was, I'm a marketing strategist. I'm a marketing strategist. And then they came out like, well, I know some mindset too. Right? So I kind of snuck all that in. And then along the way, what was happening is that I started knowing that I knew things that I didn't learn in therapy school. And I'm like, who's telling me that? Like, it was just wild, right? Because I never set out to be an intuitive. I never set out to be an energy healer. I never set out to know the things I know. but I would know the things I know. And Tara's been on retreats with me. Shauna's been on retreats with me. Like, and it's just like, so it took me a lot of years to understand that I'm so deeply connected to my intuition. And I'm like ninja. In the beginning, though, I'd be like, and so it's a great story of receiving because I couldn't receive it. I couldn't receive the greatest gift that God has given me, the thing that just cracks it open for people. I couldn't receive it because I was afraid of it. I thought it was weird. I thought I'd be judged. Y'all, nobody would hire me when I'm like, what happened when you were 7? It's related to your sales. I'm like, they're gonna think I'm a lunatic. Well, now they love my lunacy, right? And so I finally put my understanding of psychology with my understanding of business and marketing with the energy work I do. And so that's why I call myself the intuitive business mentor, because the intuition gets us there. And then I use the psychology and the business of it's pretty cool and powerful. So that's me. I work with people, generally women. And I know y'all are that, y'all, some of you are my clients on the call. Some of you I've been on webinars with. The women that I work best with, raise your hand if you want these, or in your mind, raise your hand. You're really smart. Most of you know how to grow your business. Most of you know marketing. You know what you should be doing. You're aware that you're not. You're blocked, or you're not able to really, really, right? And you might have tried everything in the world, and you're like, what is wrong with me? And what I know, it's not more strategy. It's not more strategy. And I'm not saying anything bad about strategy. Absolutely, it's imperative. But if you have subconscious blocks that are like, nope, it's like gas brakes. And so that's kind of my genius, is like freeing the energetic aspects and then kind of getting you into the identity and the embodiment of, oh, okay, cool. So we're gonna do some of that today. All right. Okay. So why receiving? Why loves? Why this topic? Why is receiving connected with growing your business, expanding your business, getting money, getting exposure, being seen as an expert? So let's just kind of discuss for a minute. So just feel free to throw. Here's what I'll also say. I'm kind of a weirdo about self-expression. I really believe that women have been suppressed for so long. I don't want to train women. They have to sit back and like they have to. I don't want to have to call on everybody because that lives in ourselves for too many decades. So I feel free, leave your stuff off mute. If you want to jump in, just jump in. I'd rather kind of traffic cop things than make women ask for permission. We don't do that in my space. Okay, so if there's background sound, obviously mute yourself, but you don't have to raise your hand, just jump in. Okay, so why is receiving imperative to, well, everything, but this is specific to growing your business. So I'd love to hear. Just jump in.
I think that there's opportunities everywhere. Yeah. And unless we're in the mode of receiving, we can't see them.
Bingo. That's a good example. Good answer. Anybody else?
I've got some really hefty goals and dreams that I want to achieve over the next 20 years. And unless I receive them, I can't achieve my goals.
Yeah.
Because my goals are not insular and they're not singular. That they incorporate other people need to invite me here to do that, to do this.
Yeah.
So unless I receive, I can't fulfill my goals.
Beautiful.
Anything to do with the energy exchange? So when you receive, exchange the energy and give? I don't know, just a thought.
That's good. So how many have heard it's better to give than to receive?
Fucking bullshit.
Says Barbara. Hallelujah. Right. And so what happened is we have been trained, some of us are over 40. We have literally been, here's how you do it. Be nice. Take care of everybody. If you're a mom, who do you focus on first, right? You make the sacrifices. And so our training, our identities are very much givers. I wrote this book. It's called Love-Based Mission, How to Create a Business That Serves Your Soul. And the whole hypothesis is you have this massive mission, but you're so busy caretaking and too scared to be your own greatness but you're not even allowing yourself to get your mission out, right? So that was my book about 5 years ago. So receiving is massive. Okay. So do y'all understand, in order to get to the next level, and this isn't just business, this is love, health, relationships, money. It's every single thing. We must be good receivers. So when I say I want you to be greedy for your own good, is that a hell yeah, or is it like, anybody have any like, oh, I want to be greedy? Nope. Okay, Lisa's like, bring it all on. Cool. So I had this I actually did there's a woman in my community named Terry Silverman who does the story, she helps people tell their stories, and I did a story performance with her. And the story performance was actually about a sexual moment. I won't go in detail. You can ask me for the YouTube video. Happy to share it. But I had this man and had just come from a horrible divorce and just, it's kind of shattered. And I had this man, and this one night, what he set up for me was like princess-like, right? Where there's rose petals and champagne. And I remember I turned and I'm like, it was this moment where I was aware the old me had nobody ever treated me like that, right? And this experience was in front of me, and I'm like, I can't even take like this moment, like in a millisecond, like I can't even take this in. And my knowing is like, oh, sister, you're gonna take this in. This is literally a doorway you're walking through, and I'm like, okay. And it was so good and so yummy, and all of me is like, I can't. And I had to go, stop, breathe it in, just like, okay, oh my God. Woo. And then I was in another portal. Has anybody ever had that? I mean, it was literally a visceral, my whole body is like, oh shit, nobody treats me away. And that's what we encounter. It's our old, this is all I've had. This is all that's been available. Wait, there's more. You guys got it? You gals got it? Okay, what blocks this? What? Oh my, here we go. This could be 3 days worth. Go. What? I already said it. I had never had it. This had never been me. Nobody. So a sense of, but I've never had it before. That's one. What are the blocks? And it could be yours or just what you know.
Just don't deserve it.
Ooh, yeah. Oof. Okay. Notice. Is anybody getting jills or goosebumps? I'm trying to say chills and goosebumps. They combine. When she said that, did anybody have a physical? Oof. So many people are wandering around with worthiness issues. And the reason they can't receive is because they've trained, well, if you're good, if you give more, then you're worthy. Goodness only comes from you working for it. Right?
Yeah, I think that ties into not having earned it. Like if I feel like I've earned something, yeah, I'll take it all. But if I don't feel like I've earned it, then there's that.
Exactly. I love it. Worthiness issues. Didn't earn it. Right? That literally lives. We're swimming in the waters of all this. So years ago, when I was a therapist, a client came in, she was attending a church that believed in tithing. And she said, would you mind if I tithe to you? Because I get way more from you spiritually than I do from my ministers. And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, if I'm feeding you spiritually and you want to give me money, who the hell is going to say no to that, right? But that's an example of like, well, why not? So I want you to be aware of, where are people trying to give you something without you? And it, like, let's say her coaching fee was this, she literally would give me this because she would add on her weekly tithe. So I didn't earn that hour of coaching therapy. And I'm like, I could receive that. So I want you just to know for yourself, are there more places where life wants to give you, and you're going, oh, hold on, roadblock, wait, hold on. It could be
my biggest roadblock
yeah.
is, why would anybody pay me for me talking? I've got nothing that anybody, it's like, why would people listen to me? It's all crap. However, that's not the truth from what I've been told. But that is it. It's like, why would anybody listen to me to pay me?
It's wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anybody else relate a little bit to that?
Mhm.
It's one thing. It's like Barbara, you're selling energy stuff, right? You're doing
Yeah.
transformation stuff. I think if we're like plumbers and we go, okay, boom, the leak is the clog is gone. You can see it. Did you see it? I rotoed it. It's a tangible thing that
Yeah.
people, oh, I understand what that is. I can see you do that. But when we are doing transformational or energy or things that are just serving people and we are up for sale, raise your hand if you're in the room and you are it. You're not working for a company. You are it. Like you sell your gift services, right? Right. We all are, right? That's the thing, Shauna. So the challenge there is your brilliance is in your blind spot, right? And so you're like, it's no big deal. Doesn't everybody know how to do this? That's why I told you the story. But it took me 7 years to go, oh, this energy thing is a thing. And it was outside people. It was a clients telling me, like, I come to you for that. This is why I hire you. I don't need your marketing. I need this because I couldn't value it. So your brilliance is in your blind spot.
So I have an example of something that's kind of still going on, because I've worked a lot on receiving, but with my health condition right now, it's like I'm getting friends to go do my grocery shopping for me while my son's out of town. And it's really hard. And it's like I want to compensate them because I can order from Whole Foods and it's $9.95. And it's like, okay, I can do that. But it's like, it's really difficult for me. It's like I'm taking their time and giving nothing back. So there's like an exchange. I don't feel like we're in balance.
Take a breath. What you're giving them is the ability to be of service to somebody. That's what you're giving them.
Yeah.
So remember I shared the story of when I was that man, like, and what if, Shauna, you just had what if you had anytime anybody wants to give to me, that it's in my highest, right? Somebody wants to give you a disease. We're not taking the disease, but if somebody wants to give me something that would support me, would bless me, I'm a yes to that. No strings. You want to give? Okay. What if we just decided, oh, I could be open to all that life has to give me?
Yeah, it's a stretch. I'm working on it.
I know. Lisa kind of looked where I like, okay.
I think
Go ahead.
I think as I'm hearing you talk about all these things, I think for me it's going to be setting an expectation, a new normal, and that will put me in a position to be disappointed.
Wait, say that again. That last piece, say that again.
To be disappointed if it doesn't happen again, if that doesn't become the new normal.
Oh. Okay. So talk more about that. So if I expect good stuff coming my way, then it doesn't happen.
No, if I'm surprised by something,
okay,
that's really, really good, then I will just assume, okay, well, that's how things are going to be.
Got it.
And then when it doesn't happen, it's the disappointment. So do I want to set myself up for disappointment is what it feels like.
Yeah. That's a personal choice, right? And so it's like, what's the story around it? There's a story there that it would be horrible, terrible, and you probably would die or whatever your story is, as opposed to, you know what? If 86% of the time I'm delighted, I'll take the 14%. Is that the right math? I can live with that because I would rather live expecting the good than fearing for the disappointment. So do you see that there's like a
and on a day-to-day basis, oh my God, I woke up with such crazy vertigo. If I close my eyes for a second, the room starts spinning. But that's not how I behave on a day-to-day basis. But when the concept of the bigger receiving, when I start taking that apart, I was like, well, no, because then that's my expectation. And yes, there's lots of trauma attached to that. Right. And there's also the witch wound and all, this being able to tap into past lives and knowing that I was put on pedestals and appreciated and revered, and then my head was chopped off. It was like,
We've all
So
had
coming into
falls.
this, yeah, coming into this lifetime, you're like, okay, I'm just gonna play it really, really safe,
Mm, mm. Okay, feel
right?
that, feel that, feel that. Do you want to keep, do you want to, I hear that. And that's on one hand, that's a strategy. But truth, is your soul here to play it really safe? Did you incarnate this version to play it really safe?
No, and I also know that. So it's this and this.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do work on that. Anybody relate to her? Because that's a big one. Okay, so right now we're just gonna, you'll see. I'm gonna say, okay, this cohort, how able are you right now just to be completely open? Just give me all the things. Okay, so if you guys follow the pendulum, this way is a yes, and it goes this way, it's a no. Now, obviously, I'm not going to move it. I did that for demonstration purpose. Okay, watch. This cohort, how open are you to receive all the good? Just as much as, how much are you open right now? More than 20, 30, 40? Okay. 34%. All righty. I'm going to do some work on that. Okay.
So that's cool. So you're gonna gauge at different parts of the call? That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah. So do we do, okay, I'm not to clear that just yet because we're going to keep, the reason I do this, so let me back up. Our brains, our minds are literally the conscious part of us that they're just keeping us safe. So therefore, Tara, like, well, you only can get when you earn, when you deserve. Those are constructs that they just keep you safe. Because then you could be disappointed, or then you could be right? Everything else lives in what I call the body, like the subconscious. The mind actually lives in the body, right? And so the way I teach is we talk a lot to bring it up. So it's like when you make the unconscious conscious, then you have awareness. Oh, wait a minute, Lisa. Whoa, wow, that was a thing. Okay. And then when you have awareness, then you begin to have choice. But you can't have choice until, number one, we acknowledge, and number two, maybe we do some clearing, or sometimes it's just a simple make a different decision. But that's the way I teach. So there's a lot of talking, and then we tune in. So I'm just saying, and again, I'm guided all the time. So, all right. And we're going to get back to the 34%. So when you think of receiving, most of us look like money, right? I want to receive money. And do you see, though, how everything is correlated? Like I was at an event, I was at it was a church, and there was a woman, there was two women standing there, and this woman was saying, hey, hon, let me give you back the $20 I borrowed from you. And this woman was like, no, 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 no. And this one was like, no, but I borrowed it. Like, here, let me repay you. And this woman literally ran away. And I was like, and you're probably broke. And bless her, she works at a church, soulless person. Like, I don't know what I know what they make at church. It's not much. But I was like, wow, you can't even take back your money that this person is graciously giving back to you. I was like, wow, she literally ran away. Now, maybe we're not so bad as literally running away from money, but it's compliments. It's let me help out. Like what other places? And I, let me just be a little graphic here. I was working with a woman who was a lesbian, and I'm like, okay, let's talk about your sex life, because hello, it's all connected. And she said, yeah, my partner wants to pleasure me, but I'm so uncomfortable. I like to do her, but I can't. And I'm like, there we go. let Coach Treese give you an exercise that you're going to work on. She's going to love it. You might be, because she could not, she was great to give to her partner, but to allow her partner to give to her. And again, she's got a trauma background, so there was some unsafe things. She couldn't receive what the partner wanted to give. And it's very correlated with, well, if you can't receive that from the safest person in your world, how do you think you're going to receive clients and money and influence and impact and all the good? Like, do you get it? So I want you right now, and we're not going to share this necessarily. I want you to just take a minute, and I want you just to kind of do a scan. Wait, I'm supposed to guide you. Okay. Hold on. We're just going to do a little visioning meditation thing. All right. So just taking a few deep breaths, and allow yourself to be just really comfortable in your body. There we go. Bring your energy and focus down to the bottom chakra. So it's like the very bottom, like near your tailbone. Just bring your energy. Imagine just filling yourself up so your body is full of you. A lot of us live in our heads or out of our bodies. So do what you can just to really inhabit your body. There we go. Taking some deep breaths. And I want you to give yourself permission to get answers. In your mind, I say yes to receiving everything that is here for me today. I say yes to any new awareness or insight. I'm willing to see it all, so I have freedom to change. All right. So I want you to do a scan of your life, and we're going to start with finances. Look at your current financial situation. And just here's a question, truth. If I could receive all that's available to me, would this be different? Truth. If I didn't have to work so hard, if I didn't have the belief that I had to work so hard for money, what would be possible? That's a big one. Truth. If I trusted that God is my source, or the universe is my source, or whatever word that is for you, and trusted and knew that there is more available for me than I'm currently seeing and receiving, what would that look like? Just gather the information, trusting and knowing that your mind will capture this and you will know what you need to know. And then second, we're going to move to the area of relationships. And I'm going to also add support. Some of you are in a primary relationship. Some of you might have friends, or just the word support, right? So people supporting you. So notice and just go truth. How much am I really receiving right now? Am I allowing in all the love and support and help and nurturing and kindness that's there? Am I allowing that in? And if so, to what percentage? And if there's a part of me that's blocking this, or didn't even know I was blocking this, but I think I'm blocking this, what would I be afraid of? What would I fear if I really said yes to receiving all the support? I want you to really mind this one. I'm going to ask you one more question. We're going to do multiples of these exercises, but at this point, the question is, what's the one belief that if I just pulled out, reworked, or discarded, if I just got rid of that one belief, what is that would make the biggest difference? Maybe it's that you're not worthy, or you have to earn it, or nobody cares about you, whatever. Like, just ask your body to show you what's the one thing. If I just pull that thread, everything reorients. Beautiful. Trusting and knowing that everything you've got today is exactly what you need right now. You'll remember what you need to know. And if it didn't drop in perfectly right now, you can always access it later. Okay, so taking a breath, and I want you to come back. All right, my loves. As you're allowing yourself to return, there was a lot. That was a lot of questions, but I want you to get immersed in what's the reality of where I am. This was a baseline, right? So your finances, your relationships, your support, and then the belief, because we're going to move into mindset and identity. So does anybody want to share what came up? And you don't have to, but if you're comfortable and you want to share, then you know whenever you talk, you're helping somebody else.
I'd like to investigate what is the one word
Okay.
that is my blockage.
Okay.
And I'd like it to be an aha moment, if possible.
Okay.
It's like, wow, that's
Well, the question is, what's the belief? So did you get, because I actually used yours, why would anybody want to pay me, right? So was there that, or was there something else that came up for you that like, so did you get it?
I didn't get it, but I know it's underneath that.
Okay. Okay. Can I?
Whatever it is makes me think that.
Yeah. Okay. Do I have your permission to go in a little bit here with you?
Please.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So watch. It's safe to know. Okay, Barbara, open your eyes. Open your eyes. Watch. It's safe to know. It says it's not safe to know. Okay. Okay. You need to decide right now. So, okay. So what happens, gang, if you're watching me, I'm tuning into her energy, right? So I kind of get it. I get the intuitive hit and then I test it. So when she's saying this, I'm like, it's not safe. There's something about it's not safe for her to know. So then I go, yep, it's not safe for her to know. And then I say, okay, what does she have to do? She has to decide. Yes, there's something else. No. Okay. So I want you to take a minute, Barbara, because you're strong. You've been through a lot. You're a badass, right? So somehow what happens along the way is the parts of us, the younger parts, the protective parts, like, oh God, no. Like you can't, you're too little. You can't handle that, right? So there's a part that has attached basic thing. You can't know this. So I want you to go in and affirm, I can handle anything. Like I'm this age. It's totally safe for me to know what the belief is. So just go in and imagine you go, okay, whatever this is, if you're a visual person, I'm seeing like, what is it? It's like smoky, like film kind of covering, like the image is here and there's like a filmy protective, and you just go, it's okay. I can know now. I can know. And so just do that. And then just see what, there we go. See what gets revealed. Did you get it?
I got that it's safe to know.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Is it going to come to, okay. It's not, okay. How many days? 5 days. Okay. So it's just processing. Just give it a little minute. So, right. So sometimes things are instant. Sometimes it just takes like, oh, okay. Things have to reorganize, right? They got to kind of rewire a little bit and like, whoop. And so what you're going to want to do, because the nervous system is always in protective mode. So you're going to be like, you know what? I can handle anything. I can know all the things. There's nothing that can scare me. I have the resources. I have the support. Everything, anything I know is going to be only in my good. Okay. Thank you for that one. That's a good one. Anybody else want to bring something up that they got?
Yeah, mine was if I got everything I wanted, then my fear would be to not live up to the expectation, which is kind of the same thing as I don't deserve it. I have to work for it. Mm-hmm. So like, even if I got it first, then I would still have to keep reserving.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's okay. So so the beliefs are, okay, let me just ask, hold on 1 second. Do I have your permission to tune in here?
Yeah. Okay.
It's fathers. Is it your father? Yeah. Is it his ancestors? Your father, the ancestry on their father's side, it's related. That's where it came from.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
You got that. Okay. All right. So the nice part is it wasn't even of your creation. It's not like Tina today is going, oh, hey girl, it was given to you and you're carrying it. So yeah, you're 100% carrying that. So what if you just like, here, let me just give you here's a really pretty selenite ball. What if you just take it and go, oh, ancestors, you're so nice. Thank you for this. But I don't need it. Like, thank you. You really tried to help me. And it's been awesome, but you know what? You can take it back. Okay. So see if you can do that, because again, like, so part of the differentiation is that yours, not yours, where the beliefs come from. Because when we can find all that, then remember, we have awareness, you have choice. Now you have choice. Oh my, I've been living somebody else's thing. Not true. So play with that and see what happens.
Thank you.
Okay. So the mindset about receiving, the stories we've been told about receiving. Oh my, I like, for me, why do you think I wrote this book? Is because I was a crazy little codependent, and my whole role, I mean, I was a therapist. I had to help everybody. And when I first started in therapy, see, hello, that was a Freudian. When I first started coaching, wah wah, I would do anything. Like, I'll do all the things, right? Anytime, I mean, I had to overgive so much. I had to prove myself so much. If I do all these things, if I make myself indispensable to you, nobody's going to love you like that. Really, seriously. And Tara, it's probably true, right? You've had a lot of experiences with me, but now it's from a place of, this is just my God-given gift. Whereas before it was from, I'm not enough. So I have to work really, really, really hard to get loved, affection, money, any of the things. Because I'm not enough, fundamentally don't deserve it. Things don't work out. So if I just work really hard and give and give and give. So that was the thing, that was the mindset for me, that I had to go, whoa, I was getting my love needs met from my clients. I was in massive proving energy, as opposed to, I'll just love the shit out of you and you can like me or not, but I will. Like when you get through this, on the other side, it's clean, right? So the mindset piece is, what belief should I have? So what are the current beliefs about receiving? What kind of women just receive a lot? What do we call them? Well, in maybe past lives, they'd be the whores or the sluts or the women that are just take all this, right? Obviously, pay that.
I would just say lucky.
Lucky, good, nice, right? What kind of women just make a bunch of money? Like, here's what I want you to, if you look at somebody making money, is your first thought, right on, if she can do it, I can do it, or like, oh, God, I can't believe she's making all that money, right? Like, like we shit on other people when we have that. I don't ever do that. So when there's an abundance of money, people making money, we should bless that. Like, yes, they're doing it. That means I can do it. That means we can do it. They've broken through. So when I say, what mindset would it take to be greedy for your good? And I say that with an edge, because receiving a lot, some could call greedy, unearned, right? When you think of yourself first, sometimes it's like, hey, no, this isn't going to work for me. No, this is what I need. Sorry, but this is what I need. This is what will work for me. In the olden days, I would have called that greedy, because I was a selfless codependent. So there's the mindset, and then there's the belief, and then there's the identity. Okay, let's talk about that. An identity is how you show up. So I told you the identity that I had in the beginning was selfless, martyry. I just had to prove that I'm good by getting people to do X, Y, Z. I had to prove that I will love you better than anybody. And I had no boundaries. That was my identity as a coach. I don't think I'm that today, but I had to build the identity of what I have is enough. Who I am is enough. And I take care of myself first, right? So let's talk about identity. What is it right now related to receiving, and what's the opportunity? Like, if you would shift your identity, do y'all understand what that is? Like identity of a leader, identity of a businesswoman, identity as a woman making money, identity as an influencer or impact person. What identity do you have to create of receiving? It's beliefs and thoughts that go into the formation of, this is who I am. I know I said a bunch of words, but I want to hear from you. You guys following that, or is it like, what? Did I lose you? Okay.
Identity as a whole, or identity from the thoughts and the beliefs on a day-to-day basis?
Well,
Some of-
so if you had an identity, so if I say, okay, Lisa, you own your business, what's your CEO identity, right? What's your I'm a business leader identity versus I just do some tasks for people identity. You see what I mean? It's a shift in the woman that's going to make 6 figures or 7 figures or whatever. That's a different identity than the woman that just shows up doing some things. So the identity as a receiver, a woman that is like, I am open to all. I don't put caps on my goods. I'll say yes to all the things. That identity to make receiving just, yep, that, which is formed with the thoughts and the beliefs and mindsets. I feel like I'm losing you. What can make it more clear? How can we bounce this around?
Walk me through it.
Okay, so what beliefs do you currently have? And this is for everybody. What beliefs do you currently have about receiving, about how good it is, how right it is, your ability to do it?
I don't think much about the receiving. I'm more enthralled and excited about the creation of it.
Okay. What do you mean the creation of?
The creation of a new brand, the creation of a launch for a client, the creation.
Okay. Yeah. Great. But when you get all the creations out, then what happens?
Then I just want to create more.
But I'm assuming there's a reciprocation. I'm assuming they're paying you, girl. Right?
Yes. Yes. But I think I have more fun, like in the scheme of creating something and bringing it out to market and being paid. I'm so much more excited about the beginning than I am the second part of it. So I'm open to receiving. I have no problem selling. I have no problem.
Okay. So if your income is the place where you are like, this is awesome. So the question is, hold on. How much more? Hold on. The pendulum. Do I have permission to go in here? Okay. Yeah. What's the question? Okay, I'm hearing there's even more good for you. There's even more good. And for you, that might be more creation, more higher level, whatever that more good is. How open are you to receiving even more of the good? 48%. So you're about halfway there. So 50% of you is like, yeah. And the other part's like, and what you talked about earlier, that whole disappointment thing or whatever, the past life thing. So some people are like receiving to grow business, receiving to grow money, receiving to have better relationships or whatever. If you would say, what would be the more good? Do you even know what that is? Have you allowed yourself to even vision what next level greater good is?
It's freedom.
Okay.
Yeah, and I had a spectacular day yesterday doing some inner work and inner healing. It was just magical. And I think that my body hasn't caught up to it, and that's why I have vertigo today.
That would make sense. Sure, yeah.
Because it was just, out of this world. So I'm very open now. I'm very, so this call was just perfectly timed.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. So for you, I want another $1 million in the bank, or I'm just making stuff up here. It's what would freedom look like? And maybe it's more team, more ability for you to do what you love more. So like whatever that is for you. But just it's the thought, what you said earlier about but then I'd be disappointed, right? So that's the other 50%. Like I'd like freedom, but oh shit, what if it doesn't work? I like freedom, but when it doesn't come, So that's the younger part. That's the past life stuff. That's that opportunity. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So thoughts, beliefs, and identity. What identity would you need to step into? So Barbara, what you said is, that's not receiving all the good narrative. So if we could just rewrite the script a little bit, what identity, like if you're going to show up, okay, so here's my belief. You're here for a reason. You went through all that you did, all the gifts you have, all of us. We are literally standing on, so I believe this is our spiritual work. These are our missions. These are our ministries. God put this, or whatever you call it, put this in. This is our work. You are completely equipped. You need nothing. just to say yes and maybe refine it and figure out how to talk about it. But literally, you have everything. You're the perfect one right now. Somebody's literally praying for you. They're like, and I could say it, but they're not going to hear it. But you're going to say it. They're like, I've waited for that. Some say we are born for these times. We are born right now for these times. So now
Because I actually have people say that to me.
there we go. See? So you're standing on a stage and you're captive audience for whom on a soul level you've contracted. Okay, we got a thing. We got a thing. I'm supposed to be with you. You're supposed to be with me. What identity, the woman that walks out there on the stage, what does she believe about herself? What does she know about herself? What can she count on about herself? That's identity. Does that make sense for everybody? This isn't just for Barbara, this is for everybody. Because you cannot receive if you have identity.
I've created a new byline. I've created a new byline for myself.
Okay.
And it's where the new age meets the old wisdom.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Because I don't have the new age information, but for the last 40 conscious years of working in the spiritual field, I've got the old energy. And
there you go. It froze. Okay, so
if that makes sense.
but I want you all to get I'm the woman who embodies 40 years of a lot of wisdom.
Mm.
And I trust that, and I know that, and there are people that are absolutely ready for it. That's an identity. I'm the woman who, so I'm going to go around, I want to hear you just put a couple, I'm the woman who, because I'm the woman who starts building the identity. Okay, so Tara, I'm the woman who.
Still trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like I'm just learning and growing, and I'm just open to whatever happens. Almost to the point where I don't have, like, I haven't set my own direction. I haven't decided
Right.
what my energy, what my identity.
Right.
I just know the end result when
Which
I
is?
die
Okay.
would be that I gave some really great things to this world in
Yeah.
addition to my children, who are just amazing. Right. But I don't want to just be known as, I was a mom. I mean, I want to contribute something substantial, but I don't know what that means or what that looks like. And so
I know you're just starting your law career. So how about I'm the woman who receives all the guidance possible. I'm the woman who acts, because you're freaking fearless, you lunatic. Like she's like, law school in my 50s. Okay. Lunatic with love. I'm playing with you.
I know. Well, you know what? You
So
started
fearless.
it. So
You did. So it's like I'm the woman who receives the guidance and acts easily. I'm the woman who follows the next steps, even if they seem crazy and irrational. Yeah. I'm the woman who knows that I can do whatever I'm asked to do. That's identity. So you don't have to know the form of it, but you can be like, if you have that knowing, the rest is easy. Does that make sense? So that's what I mean by identity. Does that help?
Does, actually, because I do.
You do.
I do. I trust. I've learned to trust my gut, and I just
boom. And here's the thing: we devalue that because we're like, well, that's so easy. It's not easy.
God, no.
Most people are like, you're nuts. Why would you do that, right? And so a lot of things we already have naturally. But I'm just trying to, so you can't receive unless you have an identity of being a joyful receiver, being give me more. I want you to be magnets, not repellents. I want you to be like, I want this. Yeah, I'll have it. Because here's the thing. If we receive, you'll be shocked at what can come your way. Seriously, like, wow. And so, sometimes I'm like, God, surprise me. Make it better than I can even imagine. Maybe this will turn out like, wow. Sometimes things that could be like, it's like, oh, that actually was phenomenal, right? So, okay. Anybody else want to share about this identity piece?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Shauna then Lisa.
I am the woman who lives the dream of retiring from corporate to make more money and have more fun.
Beautiful. So I love that. So then you would fill the rest in by saying, And the thoughts that perpetuate this are, and the feelings that I add to that are.
Got it. Thank you.
So that will, because this is how you lock it in. Because I can say, oh, just be fearless. But if you're like literally ready to wet yourself, I can say all the platitudes unless you say, wow, I'm a woman who easily retires. Wow, that feels so awesome to be really powerful in my being. I'm a woman who this, ooh, I love because I feel so grateful for all I've accomplished. Like, see what I mean? The thoughts and feelings sear in, make it the identity. All right, Lisa, go.
Did you see I raised my hand?
Yeah, I did. I was waving at you. Yeah, go.
No, that's not what I mean. I asked for permission and then I went, I'll just wait my turn. I am a woman who travels the world free of stuff, experiencing adventure. I am a woman who loves to contribute.
All new iPhone users do these 3 mistakes. Number 1 is delete.
Who's talking? So turn your somebody has extra sound. Go ahead, honey. Go ahead. Say it again, please.
I'm a woman who loves how I contribute through my creations, my breakthroughs and transformations I bring my clients. I'm a woman who loves my spa days because that's where I get my best insights. I am a woman who is grateful for my meditation because that's where I'm closest to source. So just have a whole list of those things. And that's,
so when you say those things, to me, I could feel the receiving. I could feel the expanding into the, yes, I'll have that. Yes, 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 I'll have that. Not, but I'm afraid I'll be disappointed if, right? So we want to break you out of that and into the yes. So how did it feel when you read it?
oh, it's like
Kind of lit up.
just facts.
Right. Perfect.
I didn't make any of that's how I live my life today and want to remember and be mindful that those sort of things that
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So you're following me. So it's, what is the belief that holds you back? That's the thread you want to pull. What thoughts and now identity, because you can't do anything. I'll give you an example. This is an identity piece. So I think I shared this recently. I had a client who was this was when I was a therapist. She was the most introverted introvert I've ever seen. Like, she literally would, she would spend her whole session like this, and she would like do this when she literally was, I felt horribly sorry for her. She was the most uncomfortable in herself I've ever seen. Her job was that of an aerobics instructor. And I'm like, help me to understand. Like, you're like jumping in front of people. She said, that's not me. When I put the unit leotard on those days, when I put the leotard on, I become Kim, the aerobics instructor. So I want you to become Tina, Wendy, Barbara, Tara, Shauna, the ultimate receiver of all the good you can. So for her, it was a leotard and a role. So sometimes we have to put on a role until we can, like, oh, it's not the role anymore. Right? Okay. Anybody else want to say anything about this piece? And we're going to move on. And we have the thoughts, beliefs, and identity. Anybody else want to say anything? Okay. All right. So let's talk about feminine energy, working in the feminine. So just that doesn't mean being a girl or being a boy. That means we all have feminine energy and we have the masculine energy. The feminine energy is receiving. The masculine energy is more doing, more active. We've been trained, like raise your hand if you've got this one, that in order to make it happen, it has to be me. Just work hard. Like some Tara talked about, but I didn't earn it. Have to. And so a lot of us females got really good at the masculine energy of hustle, get it done, being reliable, boom, 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 boom. So we learn, if I want to have this, then I have to work that much more. We work that there's a correlation with what the output and then what we get back. Okay. And that's one way. And we always have to have both, right? Whereas the feminine energy is a very different thing. The feminine energy, and we can have a conversation, everybody has other points on the feminine energy. Instead of like, okay, this is what I want, I'm going to go out and get it. The feminine energy is waiting and allowing and then responding often to what's revealed. Anybody want to share anything about that? Do you guys agree, disagree? So it's a different operating system. So it's guidance, it's intuition, it's inspiration. It feels very different. And so the blend is, because some people are just like massively in the masculine energy, just go, 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 go. And other people are like, well, they don't have enough masculine energy. They're waiting for all the inspiration without maybe taking the action. And so if you've been highly masculinized in terms of that's the operating system, it will burn you out. And what if you gave yourself permission? I'm going to have an experiment. I'm going to see what I can receive. Now, does that mean you have to do something? No, that means you wait. And so what if you had an experiment for yourself of, I'm going to say yes to everything. Somebody says, can I buy you a coffee? Yes. Can I open your door? Sure. Can I carry your groceries out? Absolutely. Like, so I think we could really be surprised by life if we just allowed, like, whoa, wow, wow, wow. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I had a period of a few months where I was hanging out with people that, like, they would take me to country clubs and I was getting like really fancy dinners and I'm like, shit, I'm so blessed. I'm so abundant. I didn't do anything to get this. I didn't pay for any of it, but I was just getting all this stuff and these fancy things. And I'm like, wow, okay. Because I said yes. And it wasn't on any of my dimes, right? It was just because I said yes. And I was just like, oh, and so if you're wired that I only can take what I've contributed, if I put in 3 hours, I can only get 3 hours worth of monetization or reciprocity, as opposed to, I'll be surprised. What do you got next for me? So let's talk about this. This is the experiment. So what do y'all think? Are you like, that sounds yummy and delightful? Or are you like, oof?
Yummy and delightful.
Yay, nice. Barbara, you're muted. Go ahead, honey.
That sounds yummy and delightful.
Beautiful.
I've just written down, I'm going to be curious to watch my miracles unfold this week.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
No, wrong. I'm going to be curious to watch my miracles come to me this week.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. I love that. And I give thanks in advance for all the miracles that are here, right? So yeah. So this is the feminine, right? This is, and you know, I had this conversation, when was this? There's this concept of what I call fatherless daughters. So I was raised in a home where my father was abusive and didn't teach me anything other than that I wasn't worth a lot, right? That I wasn't valued. And so what I learned is that if I wanted anything, it was up to me. I never had people having my back. I never had like, oh, I can trust you, Father. I'll just lean back in your arms. That never went well, right? So while I had a father present, I didn't have a safe father. I didn't have a nurturing father. So as I was exploring my spirituality more, I'm like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. If you've never had an earthly father figure that you can go, absolutely, I know you take care of everything. I just trust you. You just make all things work out. Because I never had that. It was really hard then to surrender and turn it over, right? I'm going to turn it. Oh shit, that never worked out really well in my life, right? So it just helped me to go, oh, those of us who didn't have the safety in our families, we're really smart and we adapted and we compensated. We get shit done. We get it done. Yeah. And so there's this place where you're like, I can, awesome, burned your adrenals, but I can. And what if there's another possibility that I can trust a loving universe, God, source, like I can rest in it. Does that make sense? Anybody relating to this? So the receiving is also, again, my mantra is if it's meant to be, it's up to me. That like I lived that. There was no safety in ever accepting. I fought everybody that wanted to give me anything because of my early upbringing. And when I went, oh, it's a fatherless daughter problem. Okay, but I can redo the heavenly father. I don't use those words, but I can go, there is a loving energy, entity, whatever it is up here that just wants the best for me and wants to just give me all the good. And when I was standing in that doorway with that beautiful man with all the rose petals, that was the moment where I'm like, shit, do I want to stay here, not believing I deserve, or walk through, like literally just like, oh my, oh my, oh my, this is big, right? And I walk through that. So that's my invitation today. All right, so let's just go questions, comments, feedback. What you got? Been chatting a lot. I want to hear from you.
Sorry, who? Me?
Anybody, anybody, who's got one? I just want to share. I'm pointing at you. You, Wendy, you. Any thoughts on this? Any ideas?
No, I'm a bit overwhelmed.
You what, honey? I can't hear.
Overwhelmed?
Yeah. Okay.
A bit overwhelmed.
Okay. Is there anything I can do to ground it? And I get it. This is a lot. Just, but is there anything I can do to make for less overwhelm or make it more clear?
You know, so what I've found in my own experience through the years is that if I focus too much on what is bothering me and put a name to it, it's almost as though I dwell too much upon it. So I would rather just say, you know what, through the years, I've become very wise through my experiences. And even though at times there might be small reminders or residual amounts of things that come to the fore, I say, thanks very much for that reminder. But you know what? I'm open.
Good.
Can't wait for all the joy and happiness to come. So I just find that thinking about and dredging, and I get it that you've got to understand it, but sometimes I find personally that if I focus too much on that, I kind of get a bit stuck in it.
Yeah.
So I'd just rather say, I've learned the lesson, got the wisdom,
Perfect.
got the t-shirt. Now's my time.
Nice. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You got to know what works for you, right? So beautiful. Anybody else want to share anything before we've got two other pieces? Anybody else? How are you feeling? Am I overwhelming you? Am I delighting you? Am I scaring you with all the challenge of receiving more?
I like this list of, I'm a woman who, because it really grounds and brings up that awareness. And it's, for me, it's a visual that I could just lean into.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's the identity piece, right? If I could say, what do you want to think? That's one thing, but I'm a woman who, that's identity. And that changes everything, everything. Shauna, go ahead, honey.
Yeah, just it helps me, you know, be a lot more conscious about where I am with the whole thing on receiving. It's better than it used to be, but I still have room for improvement.
That's okay. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, I'm supposed to do this. Okay, hold on. Before you were all open to 34%, right? That was the number we got. How open were you to receiving? Okay, what number are you at now? 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, you're at 52. Okay, there's two more things. So see, sometimes just doing that, just a little extra 20 minutes and what we brought about shifted things. Okay.
Can I just say, what I've just written is receiving is wrapped up in my trusting of the universe.
Yeah.
And my trusting in the universe is wrapped up in the proportion of trust in my father, which is zilch. And it's my mother, which is minus zilch.
Right. But it had been historically, that was the connection. And so we can cut the father piece out and the mother piece out. And we clean the slate. That's what was. Start over.
So historically, that's it.
That's where it was.
Now I can write the new one.
Yes, yes, yes. And here's the thing, look for evidence. Look for evidence.
Oh, I get evidence.
Yeah. Like how many of you, I went through this thing recently where I had a relationship that was potentially ending with nothing that I did wrong. And I was wrecked. I was so sad. And so I grieved. And then one day I had 4 new women reaching out, checking on me. And I'm like, oh, thank you, God. I'm always taken care of. Yeah, sad. This person might leave. I'm getting all these new people in, right? So I'm never without. And so you want to always look for evidence of the good you're getting. Where's evidence in this month? Unexpected. It could just be compliments. It could be somebody buying you dinner. It could be, just somebody just going, oh my God, you just totally solved that for me. Thank you. Like, you don't even know the difference you made. Thank you, right? Like, just look for the evidence of how much support and see if you can receive it more. Okay. Let's do another visualization before I wrap up. Ready? So in this one, I'm going to, we're just gonna pour in more. We're gonna pour in more, okay? So we're just gonna take a moment and just get yourself in a comfortable place. And I want you to set the intention that you are here to receive. Wait, that's not the right word. Hold on. You're here to break free and allow even more receiving. That's the word. You are willing to expand your capacity to serve yourself and to serve all the people that you are here to serve. So you're going to say yes. Again, go along only if you desire. If there's any part that you want to shift, just leave it out. Okay, so taking another deep breath. And I want you to imagine that you're standing in this beautiful place. Maybe it's a meadow. Maybe it's a beach. It's outside. It's this beautiful place. And you notice that you're just standing there and you're very comfortable and happy and serene. Take a few breaths there. And I want you to notice in front of you, kind of up above you a little bit, there's this glorious white light. It's got gold specks in it. It's this white and gold light. And I want you to imagine that this is all the good that life has for you. If there were a package of good that you get in your lifetime, the good experiences, the good feelings, the love, the fun, the money, the travel, anything good that you want, it's literally up there in that big ball of light. And on the count of 3, I want you to imagine you can literally throw your arms open and say, bring it. I want it all. And I want you to imagine that this ball of light, meaning the good that is yours, you're going to notice how much you can take in, because it's going to come, it's going to shower you, it's going to run through every cell. It's going through your head and down through your neck, through your arms, down your chest and back and torso, through your hips, down your legs, and imagine that you are for this moment on fire in being one with all that is, being one with everything you could ever desire. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to deserve it. It's yours because you are here. It is your birthright to receive all the good you can receive. You might notice resistance, and that's okay. Just go, shh, okay. And I want you to see if you can amplify it, like tune it up even more, even more, even more. So you can just breathe more and just go, oh, more, yes, please. And it gets more intense and it can stay with you if you decide. So your work is to say, I'm keeping this. This is my new set point. There we go. Say that again. This is my new set point. I am a woman who receives all the good that is available. And anything that is contrary, go now. Any old energy of unworthiness or overworking or having to prove, go now, go now. Any family connections, any messaging from any ancestors or this or any other lifetime that are contrary to me stepping in and doing my work and receiving all the good, go now. What exists right now in this moment is my soul and me and all the good that I can receive. Because the more I receive, the more I contribute. So I just say yes to all this right now. Let's take a couple moments and breathe into this space. Trusting and knowing that you have received everything you need today. And then allow yourself to return. was that? Anybody get yummy stuff?
I just saw a giant room full of presents,
Sweet. Okay.
full of envelopes, which couldn't be packaged in a box.
Mm.
And funny, my father was standing beside me.
Hmm.
I'll figure that one out.
Okay. Somebody else, what'd you get?
I got like when you had this big ball of light, and what you could receive, but what I could receive was like this dot, because there's just so much to receive. But by the end of the meditation, it was a bigger dot.
It's good. Okay, beautiful. Here's the deal. Like with anything, it's a capacity issue, right? If you only got one dot and then by the end of the day you got 3 dots, I love that, Shauna. Thank you for bringing that up. Because we just go, yeah, throw the doors open. But it's like you can't override a nervous system that's been set here.
Mhm.
So that's why we went to what beliefs hold that stuff in, But so you can expand your capacity to receive. So hopefully I like blew the socks off of you, and then you're like, woo, then you recalibrate, but you can remember this. Like you can remember the exercises, write down, I'm a woman who, let an experiment be of what, let's see what fun things I can receive this week, right? I love that you brought that up. Anybody else want to share? What else did you get?
Yeah, I had a healing with my dad too, kind of what we're talking about earlier. Like I saw how he was just trying to protect me because he loves me. So I was able to be grateful for that whole ancestral anxiety that I had inherited about,
Yeah.
having to somehow prove, you were worthy or whatever. So yeah, it felt really wonderful. Yeah.
That's magnificent.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Feels like
Anybody else-
it was
anybody-
transmuted.
Yeah, congratulations. Anybody else want to share? Could you receive? What was that like? Okay, let me do the where we are. We're at 52%. So this cohort tuning in, how open is this cohort available? More than 50, more than 60, more than 70, 80. Okay, 72%. So went from 34% to 72% in the matter of an hour and a half. That's pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. Right. So somebody's coming in, but we only have 6 minutes left. So we're not doing that. All righty. So I would love to hear takeaways. What are you taking away?
I really love the mindset, the new identity piece. I'm going to be thinking about that, but that is really helpful. Like I'm not there. I don't have my new identity yet, but I'll,
But you can move
I'll be
into it.
meditating on that. And it's a really
Love that. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. Thank you. You never know what's going to click with people. So I love that. Thank you. Yeah. Anybody else? What are you taking away?
I agree. I absolutely love that. That is, I am the woman who embodies that. That is just,
Yes.
that allows me to be that I embody.
Exactly. Beautiful.
And
Beautiful.
that allows me then to people pay me for that I embody.
Yeah. Boom. Okay. I can't wait to hear how this plays out. Wendy, takeaway.
So the takeaway for me is just being grateful for all the things that I have and being open to more.
Open to more is it. That's it. Perfect. Tara, and then Lisa, then Shauna.
That I need to make more time in my days and my schedule for this kind of energy and to be surrounded by these kind of women. I can feel a lot of resistance, which of course tells me that I just got more work to do. So dang, Therese, I'm going to have to spend more time with you.
Oh, that would be hell.
Yes.
Good. I'll tell you how in a moment. Lisa, takeaway for you, honey.
Yeah, what Tara said, being in rooms like this allows me the space to talk things through, to realize, like you said, it's the awareness. And when you hear yourself saying things, you're like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know I was going to say that before I said that. Now that I've said that, and now it's been reframed,
Right.
then it makes it possible. And the thing that you said about tithing, I love hearing things like that because it opens that possibility, right?
Yeah.
Because it happened to you. It's like, oh, okay, that's another possibility in my future.
Wait, on one hand, we think like, oh, that's sacrosanct. And I'm like, why not? You know, you feed where you're spiritually fed, or you give where you're spiritually fed. And this one was like, you're like way better than minister. You're like my minister. Okay, I'll receive your $250 for tithing this week. Like, and then I'm just like, why how dare I say no? You can't tithe to me. Like it would, I'd be shitty if I stopped her good. If she wants to give. So I'm like, so now, so if anybody wants to tithe to me, feel free, you send me money. Happy to receive the money. So
But you know, Lisa, years and years and well, probably 3 decades ago now, I had people tithe to me.
okay, see, it's a thing.
It's a beautiful feeling. It is
like
when
right.
people tithe, it's like, oh my gosh,
Exactly.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Then I knew that my words had worth to them.
They were ministering to them, right? And they were reciprocating. Beautiful. Shauna, take away, Levy.
Yeah, just I have a expanded sense of receiving and more consciousness so I can expand even further.
So good. You've done really well. Okay, so talk to me. I would love Tara. You know, I'm gonna go, Tara, how can we work together again? So, you know, well, so I've got multiple ways to work together. If anybody is like, you know, hey, what do you have? Just, you know, you have my contact information, reach out. I've got a membership community. I've got private coaching, so we can find whatever work. I generally don't sell like one session, you know, because that's like going to the gym one time. But we can work out packages. I can make it work for your budget. But if you're feeling the need, like I need some more support, reach out. Okay. You all have been wonderful. And if you're listening to this, if you're watching this video later, let me know how this lands. I like seriously, send me what's your identity? What thoughts or beliefs are into that and identity, and what did it feel like when all the light hits you, all the receiving hits you? I really want to hear how that landed for you. So, okay, next month, I think it's embodied goals. I do a goal thing that's very different than smart goal, gaggy. You can tell I'm like such a little rule breaker because I'm not going to tell you it's going to be accurate and measurable. I'm like, is it embodied? Does it feel good for you? So there's a goal thing I do that's going to be our it's gonna be October. Oh my gosh, our October call. So it's the first Tuesday of the month, unless I travel. So feel free, join us next month for embodied goals. It's very different. It's very different. You'll like it. It's new stuff. So
Thank you so much.
thanks, gals. You'll get the replay. Send this out tomorrow. So thanks for sharing. You were fabulous. I really enjoyed being with the call with all of you.
Ladies.
All right, peace and blessings. Bye.
Bye.